wizard, Harry.
I'm a what?
Oh, this is gonna be great. A wizard, Harry.
A what? I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I'm a what?
I'm a what?
Harry, you're a fucking wizard.
Harry, you're fuck. Oh, you're a wizard, Harry.
Nah.
No.
No, let's not do it. There are too many.
That's
There are
fair.
actually some
Fun
slurs in that
fact.
we can't use here.
I don't know. Fun fact about that actor who played Hagrid, he was in the James Bond films.
What?
Yeah. He was like a side character in the Pierce Brosnan era.
Oh.
Yeah. The
I
more you
didn't
know.
Actually, it was today that I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, and it was today that I found out that Hagrid's not even real. Like,
What do you mean?
That whole thing was just a big suit that he was in.
Oh, yeah. No.
Like, I knew he wasn't like that, but, like, even his face, none of that was real.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
That's the power of movie making. You fuck.
So in the last episode, I think my older brother called, and then in this episode, shit just...
I thought my headphones were plugged in there. They were not.
I left them plugged in, so it wasn't me.
Christian.
Whoa, what's that sound?
I should have known. You hear it too, like.
Yeah, what is that?
It's just the audio.
Okay, but they can't hear that, can they?
No, they can't.
Okay,
right?
good.
Yeah, exactly. So
Harry
before,
Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. What do you think of Harry Potter?
It's probably the most consistently good movie franchise based on a book that actually stays true to the books. I was gonna say that because James Bond. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I love Harry Potter a lot. I haven't read all the books yet. I'm actually in the middle of Order of the Phoenix, because that one is so long.
That is a big.
It's like a 700.
That's a chunky one.
That's a big one. You could kill somebody by throwing it at them.
Yep.
Obviously, I've watched all the movies. It's funny because my experience with Harry Potter started way back when. Like before Matt was born, actually.
Yo.
Way back. 'Cause
You're
our older
old.
Brother, our old, yeah. Our older brother Brandon, he was a big fan of Harry Potter, and back in the old days with VHS.
Oh, VHS.
We had Chamber of Secrets on VHS, and I remember being in our old house at my grandparents' house, and we'd watch it. And I have a phobia of snakes, and snakes are kind of a prevalent thing in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So I was always scared of Chamber of Secrets because the big bad of that movie is the basilisk.
Yeah.
A gigantic 70-foot snake.
You're definitely not Slytherin, that's for sure.
Oh fuck.
What
that,
are
no.
you?
I've done the thing. I'm a Hufflepuff. I'm proud. I'm a proud Hufflepuff.
Hey, at least
Loki.
not. Wait, Ravenclaw. I've never met anyone who's Ravenclaw.
Neither have I. I've always wished I was a Ravenclaw, but I'm happy to be a Hufflepuff.
I think I'm Gryffindor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Fun fact.
You idolize like Batman, so I feel like
Yeah.
you probably like just naturally I find like in media like we just kind of adopt things that we see in media to our personality.
Yeah.
Like I saw a meme earlier today that like boys will be 4 years old and then base their entire personality around one of these, and it's like trucks, dinosaur, a spaceship.
I think that's interesting because it reminds me of like, when you're 4 and then when you're like 12, it's like you do the same thing. It's like every stage. It's like when you're 16, it's like, oh, I'm like this cool character.
It's like when you leave a movie and you try to be exactly like your favorite character from it.
Yo, Blade Runner, Ryan Gosling.
You just come out of the watching.
I need to buy a trench coat.
You come out of Drive. I watch Knives Out. I go to H&M and I buy this one.
Yeah. I watch The Mandalorian and I get product placement.
Hell yeah. But yeah, so I didn't like Harry Potter, but I kind of tried to watch it, try to conquer my fear when I was like 4 years old.
Yeah.
And then my older brother's like always into the books and everything. It's funny because I remember like I think when back in 2007, 2008ish, when the final book had come out, Deathly Hallows. And Matt and I actually shared a room when we were younger. We had a bunk bed.
Nice.
And then there was a bathroom that separated our room from our older brother's room, Brandon's room. And I remember one time I went into the bathroom and Brandon's side was open, and I saw Brandon sitting on his bed with a lamp on, reading the book. And I think that was the first time in my life I ever saw Brandon read a book. I was there like, yo, Brandon can read?
What?
Because my older brother was like the kind of guy that like just drink all the time and all that. So I was like, whoa, Brandon's intellectual? He's going to be like, Josh, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. I was like, I thought he was stupid. What?
Christmas is coming around the corner, and he's actually coming in 4 days. and he's
No.
gonna see this episode. So
Tick, 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 tick,
yeah.
tick.
Speaking of Christmas, I'm wearing my Christmas socks. Check it out, boys. Can you look at that? They're penguins.
The penguins.
Yeah. But yeah. So then, Deathly Hallows Part 1 came out in theaters.
Yes.
And I don't know if Matt can remember this, but our older brother actually took the two of us to go see it in theaters because I guess he had tickets for friends probably, and then they just bailed. And we saw it, and then that began, at least for me, a Harry Potter obsession.
Yeah.
Watching clips all the time on YouTube. We took his drumsticks and pretend that they were wands. And then our mom's really religious, and she was like, no more Harry Potter. And so I was sad at first, and then I just sort of lost interest.
Oh.
And then when I got into first year of university, I was kind of like, why haven't I watched Harry Potter? It's not like my mom's gonna force me not to watch anymore. I'm 18.
Yeah.
So I decided, like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch Harry Potter. And I happened to injure my neck at that point, so I couldn't even go to the gym. And so I just had all this spare time. I watched all the Harry Potters, and I realized that these movies are pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I would say so. I liked. I remember in 2011, I was like 11 years old when Deathly Hallows 2 came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch all of them,
Yeah.
like from the beginning to the end.
And
or
had you
whatever.
seen them beforehand?
Clips of it, not fully. So watching the first two, I was like, oh, this is very like. I don't know why. It reminds me a lot of Home Alone.
Yeah.
Very whimsical. I like, they're little kids, man. They're just going on adventures. I'm like, that's fucking. And then you go to Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm like, damn, this shit's for real now.
Prisoner of Azkaban's fucking awesome.
Yo, that's awesome. They also brought in time travel in that, didn't they?
They did, and they handled it so well.
Yeah.
They got my boy Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman. They got some good actors
Hell
in those
yeah.
movies.
Dude, what's his name? Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman.
I can't remember the name of the lady who plays Minerva McGonagall.
Oh, the Maggie Smith.
Yes. Everyone's
All right, kids. That's
Professor
bad.
McGonagall being a boss-ass witch.
Hell yeah.
Richard Harris is Dumbledore, and then after he passed, what was the name of the guy that took over?
Oh, I don't know. He was good too. He was way more like aggressive.
Oh yeah,
Richard Harris was like, he was like
this
Santa Claus.
kind old man.
Richard,
he was.
you know what? I
That's a
fucking
perfect way
love
to
Richard
describe it.
Harris. He was do you know the other actors like during that era like was it like Laurence Olivier and all those classic British actors?
Mm-hmm.
So Richard Harris and all those other actors, they were hardcore drinkers, man.
Yeah.
Like they fucking got drunk and then did their play and then finished the play and kept on drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, the stories that they could tell. Richard Harris and stuff, he told so many. So I just like that I have that knowledge now. And then I see Harry Potter and it's like, I'm such a whimsical,
Perhaps
innocent.
if I could have a coffee.
And the fucking dude, he was partying,
It's actually
man.
that's the Santa Claus thing. Santa Claus, like you'd imagine like Richard Harris's Dumbledore is like what you'd imagine Santa Claus as.
Yeah.
And then what's his name? I hate that I can't remember his
Yeah.
name. The other Dumbledore.
The other Dumbledore, yeah.
He's like, you remember that movie Rise of the Guardians?
Yeah.
And Santa has fucking
Yeah.
like tattoos on his arms, and he's a badass.
Yes.
Obviously, you probably know the whole Dumbledore asked calmly meme.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you put the goblet and your name in the goblet of fire?
Yep.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to that when I was reading Goblet of Fire. I was reading it. I also was listening to it on an audiobook. And yeah, the guy reading the audiobook was like, "Harry, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?" And then watched the movie. "Did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire? Are you sure? Did you have only the older stones do it for you?"
I love that.
"No, sir. No, sir."
Scared the shit out of Harry.
It scared the shit out of me because that was also like the first Harry Potter movie that I watched from beginning to end.
Oh, I see.
And that's another thing. So I never ended up, because I was so scared of snakes, I never watched Chamber of Secrets, so I didn't really care for Harry Potter. And then got like 2008-ish, Brandon has what's it called, Goblet of Fire on DVD, because that's apparently everyone's favorite.
Is that everyone's favorite?
It's everyone's favorite who haven't read the books.
Oh, my favorite's Prisoner of Azkaban. Out of all the 8 movies, that's my
Yeah.
favorite. Also because I like the director.
Yeah, Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, no,
He's a good director.
Absolutely. No, but apparently that's like everyone's favorite because it's the most action-packed and yada
Doesn't
yada.
that have Robert Pattinson?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's pre-Twilight.
Fun fact about Robert Pattinson: he was once at an event, and everyone was like, was his name Edward in that movie?
Yeah.
Everyone was like, Edward, Edward, oh my God, Edward. And then one person was like, Cedric. And that was the one person who's like, whatever, he signed.
And then a time traveler said Batman, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, yeah, it was really weird, but that was the first Harry Potter I watched from beginning to end. And I just remember I didn't know why Voldemort was so evil. Because when he shows up, he's kind of just always smiling. So I was like, what's so bad about Voldemort? He seems like a nice guy. And then they start fighting, and I'm like, why are they fighting? He seems like a jolly guy. You know, he's always
Jolly
smiling.
guy. I would have.
He's just missing a nose and he's kind of bald.
Dude, he's fucking scary. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and then I did a little bit more reading, and I was like, oh wait, he's Hitler.
Ray Fiennes. That's actually because he Ray Fiennes. That's a good comparison because
Oh, it's not a comparison. J.K. Rowling literally took inspiration of Hitler. She was like, who's the most evil person in the world? Adolf Hitler. I'm going to make magical Adolf Hitler to be my antagonist.
Because I was thinking, because Ray Fiennes was a Nazi in Schindler's List with
yeah,
I wonder if that was a connection.
I'm on Goth.
Do you think maybe that's why they wanted to cast him? Because he's like, oh, he played a Nazi. He was fucking intimidating. He was scary. Oh, maybe. Damn.
That movie was terrifying. We watched that in high school.
Schindler's List?
Yeah, in religion class. We were in...
No, I didn't watch it.
We weren't in the
I
same
watched
religion
American
class.
History X in Religion, which
watched
was
that.
also fucking intense shit. What the
Yeah,
hell?
The curb stomp. Holy shit.
Yeah.
The bathrooms. Dude,
Oh, God.
let's not even talk about that.
Yeah. You brought it up, but I didn't.
I apologize.
I just mentioned the name. But yeah, Schindler's like
We watched both of them in
those
my
are some
religion class.
fucking intense movies to watch in religion
and we were
class.
15 years old.
That was grade 11, right?
Yep, I was
Yep.
15.
Damn.
Cut to grade 12 religion. I'm doing a presentation on Batman and the Watchmen.
Yeah,
In
man.
the same in Neves' class. This guy was just telling me before we started recording. It was fucking awesome.
It was. Fuck yeah.
But no, I, you know, that's where J.K. Rowling got her inspiration for Voldemort. She wanted to basically make wizard Adolf Hitler because Adolf Hitler is probably the most evil person to have lived, and that's why he's like, because his whole thing is wizard purification.
Yeah.
And that's like Adolf Hitler was like, oh, you know, the whole Aryan thing or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's what she wanted.
Yo. That's fucking crazy.
But yeah, and then you know, I didn't see. And then after I watched Deathly Hallows Part 1, I think I ended up watching the first two. I watched a bit of the third one. Mm-hmm. The fourth one I had seen several times, and I hadn't seen anything else except for the seventh one.
What did you think of Order of the Phoenix and Half-Blood Prince?
I actually liked them.
I like them too. In
Did
fact,
you
I think
know?
my least favorite out of all the Harry Potter films is Deathly Hallows Part 1 because it just, to me, the length really hit like. Ugh.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree, and I can explain that further. But did you know that in Half-Blood Prince,
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe was actually struggling with alcoholism, and for a lot of scenes he was actually drunk.
Whoa.
And he's officially sober, but
Yeah.
he could tell like when he's looking back at, he can see like scenes where he's like, I was drunk in that scene
Wow.
because he was just struggling with it.
Damn.
It's crazy.
He was probably like 19 or 20 then.
Yeah.
That's fucking young.
What is the drinking age in Europe? I know it's 19. It's 19?
Damn.
Yeah. Okay. Well, he was legally allowed to, but
Fucking
still,
damn.
If that was a state, that's underage drinking too.
Yeah.
But
Holy shit.
yeah, there's another thing you didn't know.
Yeah. Half-Blood Prince had I remember parts of it.
Half-Blood Prince was too funny, and it left out a lot of stuff that I'm not appreciative of, because I've skimmed through like the Wikipedias. I know the general like
Yeah.
gist of the books, and I also watch a lot of videos on Harry Potter because I'm a bit of a Potterhead right now. And the thing is, the movie leaves out a lot of good shit from the books.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Voldemort's backstory is completely cut out. We don't get we actually don't get anything about Voldemort's backstory. All we know is he was an orphan, and they
Wasn't that in Chamber it covered? Voldemort's backstory in Chamber of Secrets?
No, in Chamber of Secrets they talk about how Voldemort was a student at the school and that his
Yeah.
name was that before he was Voldemort he was Tom Riddle.
Yeah.
The Half-Blood Prince kind of covers how he discovered Horcruxes and how he came to find out he was a wizard and a little bit of his sinister side. Because the thing is, Voldemort. Do you know any, like how much about Voldemort do you know?
Oh my god, it's been a
Time
while,
for me
but
to learn you a thing or two. So basically, Voldemort he's actually there's actually a logical reason why he's so evil, and it's
Okay,
out of
yeah.
his control. his mother,
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what her name is, something Gaunt,
Mm-hmm.
was obsessed with a Muggle man that lived near her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she was just so in love with him, but she was also always abused by her father and her brother. And eventually, while she was admiring this man,
Mm-hmm.
Tom Riddle Sr., her brother shot at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who's texting me? My older brother. It's
Oh.
Brandon again. So
Oof.
she's admiring him. Her older brother shoots at him, and then there's a whole fight thing. And then
Wow.
because he broke the wizarding law about not exposing herself to Muggles,
Mm-hmm.
her dad and her brother go to Azkaban, and she's finally free. She uses a love potion on Tom Riddle Sr. to basically make him fall in love with her,
Mm.
and they get married because he's under the love potion, and they have a child. And because Voldemort was conceived while one of the parties was under a love potion, which means that this guy didn't actually love. He didn't love. This was just he was brainwashed into having a child with her.
Oh God.
When he was conceived, he was unable to feel any human emotions. He's unable to feel love at all because of that. And then afterwards, after she had Voldemort, while she was pregnant with Voldemort, she felt so guilty for keeping the man she loved under a love potion.
Yeah.
So she decided to like wean him off so that maybe he did go to love her, and if he didn't love her, maybe he'd stay for the child. But he
Mm.
didn't. He just left.
Damn.
And so then she gave birth to him and died a little afterwards. The only thing she wanted was that he's named Tom for his father, Marvolo for her grandfather, and Riddle for his father.
Yeah.
And he was born a very good-looking boy.
Mm-hmm.
And then while he was at the orphanage, he was very sadistic, and he could
Yeah.
also use his charm to like manipulate people.
Wow.
And the first time you see that is the only scene of him as a kid in the Harry Potter movies where, where he actually it's not even in the movies. Dumbledore meets him as a young kid, and in the
Mm-hmm.
movies he just kind of like, I can do things. I always knew I was special. But in the books it's a little deeper. It's like he kind of like he sees Dumbledore's wand and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Give me a wand." And Dumbledore's like, "We don't tolerate that." And then immediately when he realizes he fucked up, even as a little kid, he's just like, "I'm sorry, sir. I mean, please, headmaster. Where might I find one of those?" Trying to manipulate Dumbledore.
Wow.
From the age of like fucking 6, he's able to do that.
That's
And
fucking
it's
crazy.
just yeah, and then he just grew up and he began to like search to find out what his parents were. He thought that he's like he has to be like some of the most powerful parents. When he finds out that he's actually a half blood,
Yeah.
he just disassociates himself from his father's name because his father was a Muggle, which is why he took the name Voldemort. Because he wanted to disassociate from Tom Riddle, but then
Mm-hmm.
also he wanted to have a name that people would fear, and that would instill fear into people, and that's where the name Voldemort came from. And Voldemort in French means flight from death, roughly.
Holy
And
fuck.
his whole thing is that his whole thing is just he fears death. That's the one thing he fears. He thinks death. He doesn't even necessarily fear it. He despises it. He thinks it's a sign of your mortality, and it shows how weak humans are that they succumb to death. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to not succumb to it, to prove that I'm better than everyone. I
Whoa.
need some water.
That is a history lesson from Josh, talking
Sorry.
about the history of Voldemort. Could his life get any worse? Like he might as well be dropped in hell, and like the
Well,
fucking devil just raises him instead, and then like,
ironically, I just played a game called Hades, where you play the
oh,
son of Hades, the god of the underworld, and you're trying to escape Hades.
hell yeah.
I beat it.
You learn something every day when it comes to Harry Potter facts with Josh. Which reminds me, did I ever tell you the time that I got a wand from Harry Potter World at Universal?
No. What? Do
Yeah.
tell.
Okay, so when I was 13 or 14, I went to Universal Studios with my family,
Yeah.
and we went to the famous scene was like, I'm going to give a wand to the special person who is a wizard
The
or
one
whatever.
picture wizard.
So I'm just like, okay, yeah, I've seen the Harry Potter films, and we're just lining up and stuff. Then they pick me, and then they put the spotlight on. I'm like, oh no. And it's like, what is your name? And I'm like, Matthew. Matthew, you all want. And then they have the wind. Remember that famous
Yeah.
scene? I was like, they do the same, but it was like a wind blower. I was like, oh fuck, okay. And then it's like, here is your wand, sir. And I was like, oh cool. So I'm assuming like, oh, it's nice. We got a free wand. That's cool. And it's like, no, no, no. You have to pay for it. Potter had to pay for his one, and I'm thinking, yeah, that motherfucker had rich ass parents, of course. Like,
Yeah.
what the? He had a like treasure chest.
Even at Disney World, they're gonna do that to you.
Universal, but same
Oh.
thing. Disney would have done the same.
Oh yeah.
Here's your
Disney would have paid
lightsaber.
you just to do
Here's
the
your
thing.
lightsaber for only $500.
And you have to put it together yourself.
You have to put it together yourself, and you have to find the diamond or whatever for the lightsaber
and you
color.
have to pay for every hour that you can't find it.
Oh, thank you, Disney. No, interesting world building.
There's a lot of world building in Harry Potter, and for one of the reasons is actually, do you know who Rita Skeeter is from Harry Potter?
Rita Skeeter?
She's a character from Harry Potter.
Damn, nope.
Oh.
Please tell me who Rita Skeeter. That is a name.
So Rita Skeeter is a character. I'll keep it shorter this time.
Yeah.
So Rita Skeeter is a character who basically she writes for the Daily I don't think she writes for the Daily Prophet, but I think she's basically like a journalist.
Okay.
Who really twists the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm talking to you and I'm like, oh, we were talking about James Bond last time.
Yeah.
And you know how I started yawning and I looked like I was crying? Well, she would pretty much write, Joshua, holding back tears, thinking about the loss he suffered. She'd pretty much twist it to make it better. You know?
Oh, okay. I thought it was like in a negative form or whatever. It's like, oh, she's like the Fox News of the wizarding world.
No, she does do it in
Oh,
a
she
negative way.
is?
Everyone hates her.
Damn.
So
That's
Rita
crazy.
Skeeter is, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's a fan theory that J.K. Rowling her name isn't actually Joanne whatever Rowling. That her name's actually Rita Skeeter, and that the wizarding world is real, and that the whole wizarding war was real, and that Rita Skeeter came to the Muggle world and wrote books called Harry Potter about the real life figure from the wizarding world named Harry Potter.
Nice.
9 3/4, platform 9 3/4 is real. The whole war, everything is real.
Imagine going to that location where they did the 9 3/4 and you see, oh, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. I'd probably end up like they did in the second movie, where they just bash into the wall.
Yeah, but in that case, you wouldn't have a
Dobby.
flying car.
Yeah.
A flying car would be awesome.
I don't know. I probably would.
I like the concept of flying cars, like from Harry Potter to the Back to the Future Part 2. But I know, like, realistically,
I'd probably
it'd
fall
be
out.
no, but like there would be much more because you know how there's car accidents. Imagine car accidents in the sky. Fuck no.
Yeah, nah.
That would be very
let's not.
dangerous.
What would I want from the Harry Potter world here? I mean,
That time traveling thing's fucking cool.
yeah.
I'd probably use it like shit though. I'd probably go back in time and like.
just prepare a sandwich for myself earlier.
No,
gift past
I do a
Josh.
butterfly effect accidentally. I'd be like walking, and then I step on like a butterfly. Oh, what's the big deal? And then I come back and like the whole world's burning. I'm like, oh my god, Hermione, how the fuck you do this shit?
Oh yeah, so let's speak about the characters. Who's your favorite character in the Harry Potter movies?
Hermione seems pretty chill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah.
Yo.
I it's so bad, Ron Weasley, because I always think Ed Sheeran. He's like, yo, Ed Sheeran's in this? Because I can't tell the differences between redheads because I'm a fucking
Let me guess. Red hair,
red hair.
hand-me-down robes, and poor books. You must be a Weasley.
Weasley. Ron Weasley. Have you seen the Potter Puppet Pals video?
Yeah.
He's like, Ron Weasley.
Have you seen a Harry Potter musical?
Was that the
Star Kid.
Oh man, no. I've heard of it though.
Oh, it's
Damn.
so fucking funny. It's so good. You need to. When I leave, go watch it.
I will.
It's on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then there's the Harry Potter sequel. And funny enough, the characters in the Harry Potter musical are parodies of it, but they're actually more accurate to the book versions of Harry, Ron, and Hermione than the movies are.
Since you're a Harry Potter fan and you've talked about Voldemort for 50 minutes,
Sorry.
I want your thoughts on the play that they did. That was a continuation of the Harry Potter. What was it called, Josh? I forgot. Something Child.
I'm gonna go home.
Are you serious?
Nah.
What? Negative or positive?
Negative.
Damn. Okay, give us a critic a summarize
I don't
of critique.
remember it because I read it once,
Yep.
and then I said, "Fuck this shit, I'm done." I watched like 2 reviews on it, just to be like, maybe I'm missing something. They were all like, "It's shit," and I was like, "All right, it's shit."
That's the thing.
The gist,
yeah.
the gist of it is basically Voldemort and Bellatrix Lestrange had a thing, and they fucked, and they had a daughter before the Wizarding War. They had
Was Bellatrix Helen LeBon?
Yep.
Get the fuck out of here. That's
So
not
they-
what happened.
apparently it's canon according to J.K. Rowling. So they did their right before the war, Bellatrix got pregnant, gave birth, then they went and died, and his daughter's name is Delphine. And basically,
Wow.
oh my god, I'm getting angry just thinking
That just
about
sounds
it.
like
I'm starting to remember
that sounds
more
like
parts of
terrible
it.
fan fiction. You're fucking
It
around.
is.
That's
It is.
not.
Okay, so here's
Oh
what was-
wait.
I was literally talking
Yeah,
to Carrie about this like
Yeah.
2 nights ago, telling her how triggered I was because of it. You go first.
Okay. This will be quick. One of my friends. Yeah, I know. Stand back. Cause
I was trying to be low key about it, but thanks for pointing it out.
the low key. One of my friends was like, "Hey Matt, have you read this fan fiction on Harry Potter?" And I'm like, "How bad is it?" I'm like, "Okay, think of emo vampire Harry Potter fan fiction." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds bad." I forgot
Twilight?
what it was called. Shit, but there's a moment in it because he was reading it.
Yeah.
And it's terrible grammar, terrible wording, terrible everything. So it's basically this made up character that the writer wrote for herself.
Yeah.
She's in, Hogwarts, and she has a thing for Draco Malfoy.
Hmm.
And Draco is a vampire in it because, it's a fan fiction.
Because vampires are apparently sexy.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a moment in the story. I won't go too graphic, but they're like making out in the forest or whatever. And it's like, and then, Draco was making out with me and it was amazing. And then suddenly, what the fuck are you doing here? Dumbledore walks in. And I'm thinking,
It was getting like hot and spicy, and then all of a sudden,
first off,
Draco Malfoy.
no, it's like, yeah, but it's like Dumbledore would not say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Oh, that's why you need to watch the fucking
Oh my god,
Harry Potter musical, because
that's if
the guy who plays Dumbledore he has a neck beard.
I love
And
that. I love
he has a
that.
Boston accent. He's like, "My name is Albus Dumbledore. You guys can call me Professor Dumbledore. Just don't call me Albus, otherwise I'll expel you. Just kidding. I'll kill you."
Oh
And
man,
it's just like, it's he just makes fun of the fact that like, all right, so it's time for the sword and hat ceremony. Anybody who looks like a good guy can go into Gryffindor. Anybody who looks like a bad guy goes into Slytherin, and then everyone else can go wherever the hell they want.
yeah.
And then what's his name? Cedric Diggory stands up. Cedric Diggory is a Hufflepuff, and Cedric just stands up. He's like, "Hufflepuffs are particularly good finds." Dumbledore's just like, "What the hell is a Hufflepuff?"
5,000 points for Gryffindor. Was that a thing in the books too, where it's like, all right, Harry, 10,000 points for Gryffindor, and it's just like, how many fucking points does Gryffindor have? Like,
The whole House Cup thing is just, it's a thing, and generally, Gryffindor's in last and during the book because Snape is always taking away points because he hates Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
yeah.
And then they save the day, so at the last minute, Dumbledore awards them points. That they end up winning the what's it called, the House Cup.
Yeah, the World Cup.
Another fun fact: Professor McGonagall, way back in her old days,
Our old days.
back when she was a student, she was actually on the Quidditch team, which is why in the first movie she's so passionate about like getting Harry onto the team because she actually harbors a big vengeance against Slytherin because a Slytherin lady like fouled her, and that made her lose her ability to play. Like she was no longer allowed to play Quidditch.
Yeah.
And ever since then she just wanted to see Slytherin lose.
Nice.
And actually, when like Gryffindor had gone like 7 years without winning the Quidditch Cup,
yeah.
when they finally won it, McGonagall was actually crying in the stands and had to like wipe her eyes with the Gryffindor flag.
Oh,
But anyways, the Cursed Child.
that's what it's called. Shit. Okay,
Cursed
go on.
Child. It's a cursed play. First of all, it's written like a play. Like remember when we read Romeo and Juliet in high school?
Yeah.
It's written like that. Essentially, it undoes a lot of the character work that we know of Harry and Hermione and Ron. Because the biggest one is Harry. Because at the end of the book, at the end of Deathly Hallows Part 2, at the end of the Deathly Hallows book, Harry's son Albus Severus
Yeah.
is like, oh well, what if I'm put into Slytherin? He's worried that he gets put into it.
Wasn't he put into it?
We'll get to that.
Oh,
And
sorry.
they don't say. It
I'm
in the
sorry,
books.
I'm going too much.
They don't say it in the books, but he's like, what if I get put into Slytherin? And Harry's like, Albus Severus Potter, you are named after after two headmasters of what's it called Hogwarts,
Yeah.
and one of them was a Slytherin, and he was the bravest man I ever knew. If you're put into Slytherin, then Slytherin House has gotten a great addition, and if it really means that much, you can be put into what's it called, Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
Basically saying like, don't worry about it, I'll still love you. So his son does get put in Slytherin
Oh, okay, yeah.
and becomes best friends with Draco Malfoy's son, right? Which, first of all, everyone ships them.
Oh.
And
Okay.
they're actually the best part of the play. Their
Oh,
friendship.
okay.
It's very like pure,
Okay.
you know. And Harry essentially is like, "Oh, you're a Slytherin. You're not my son anymore."
What a
Pretty much over the course of like 4 years, like it kind of fast forwards through like 4 years of his school life, and over that time, because he was put in Slytherin, Harry begins to resent him a little until like explodes into Harry pretty much saying like, "I hate you"
wow.
to his 14-year-old kid.
That's not
That's not
good
Harry.
character development.
I know,
on
like,
Harry.
I'm okay with some forms of media showing, like, your kid character maybe not being a perfect father. Like in Avatar, Aang wasn't a great father because he kind of favored one of his kids and neglected the others. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But Harry pretty much, like, going against everything we know about him, it's not right.
Like, there's ways of testing your characters. Like, for example, with Star Wars, Luke Skywalker, of course he's going to change in 30 years. Of course he's going to have different viewpoints and philosophies and stuff. But that just sounds like bad writing.
Yep. Dude, I actually got worried here for a sec because I was like, is this guy about to say that he liked
No, no,
Luke's
no.
writing in The Last Jedi?
Well, there's an attempt at least where it's just like you could have done something
You
with the
could have,
character.
but they did it. I see what they were trying to do, but they didn't do it right.
We can talk about that when we talk about that.
Absolutely.
I'm actually, yeah, go on with the Harry Potter though.
But pretty much, it also includes time travel. And this time around, it's
Yeah.
not done correctly. This time around, Delphine shows up and she's like, hey, Albus. Hey, whatever your name is, Malfoy. I'm Delphine. Right? And some shit happens, and she's pretty much like, her whole goal is to bring Voldemort back by using time travel. And the whole thing is like she basically manipulates Albus and whatever his name is to go back in time using a time to get her a time turner so that the three of them can go back in time and stop Cedric from being killed. Cedric died at the end of Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
And basically, when they do that, Cedric loses. He doesn't die. Harry wins the Triwizard Tournament, and Cedric begins to resent Harry. And Cedric decides to become a Death Eater. Which, first of all, he's a Hufflepuff. That's like
Wait.
so out of character.
That's very weird.
Hufflepuffs don't become Death Eaters.
But the other parties can? Or just in general, it just comes out of nowhere.
It just comes out of nowhere. Because the thing is, the whole point of a Hufflepuff, I'm a Hufflepuff, is that you're very like kind-natured and you pretty much do anything you can to help others, right?
Oh.
And they don't care about being like showing off or getting glory or anything. Gryffindors are known for being very proud and they really want to get glory, which is why Harry Potter's a Gryffindor.
Yeah.
Ravenclaws are known for prioritizing their intellect and their wisdom. And then Slytherins are known for their cunningness and basically being shitty people.
Isn't that just like the
Bullying.
worst?
Slytherin's basically like a kind way of saying you're a bully.
Damn,
Like
man.
I don't know the words for it, but Slytherin.
Like,
There's
honestly,
actually a song.
you know what's even sucks is like Gryffindor and Slytherin, it's basically just like Jedi and Sith. Like, there
Yeah.
really isn't any fair balance there.
I should have brought my books because there's actually the Sorting Hat makes a song every year. Oh my god, I hated the song. It was so annoying because I was listening to it at 2 times speed. So
Oh
it's
my
like the neighbor's just like, and I'm like, just going off my AirPods.
That's on you. You put it at 2 times speed. Of
Yeah.
course it's going to sound
But
like
pretty
shit.
much the Sorting Hat makes a new song every year just to explain to the first years what each house represents, and it does a pretty good job of explaining what what a Hufflepuff is like,
Yeah.
what it's like, what it means to be a Ravenclaw, Slytherin, that stuff. But pretty much, it makes no sense for Cedric to become a Death Eater because he and Harry were pretty amicable in the movie and in the book.
Yeah.
So for him to go from that to like, okay, I'm gonna kill anyone who's not a wizard because Harry beat me, and because of that Voldemort ends up winning the war and killing Harry. And I think I don't remember anything else because I think the rest of it I read it, but I read it basically like I just look at my at the page and I just kind of let my eyes go down and then call that reading it.
Oh, God.
I just be like, is this over yet? And then I went to reviews, watched the reviews where they summarized it and talked about how terrible it is, because I was like, I must have missed something. This is J.K. Rowling. This is Harry Potter. This should be a masterpiece. I must have missed something.
Well,
no, I didn't miss anything.
That's the thing of some creators is that they kind of lose their touch. They do. I mean, like with Lord of the Rings, who was the author for those?
Tolkien.
Tolkien, man. Imagine Tolkien like before he passed away. He's like, you know what? I'm gonna write a Lord of the Rings, and it just isn't as good as the stories. He just
Yeah.
because he did write others, but like I'm talking like Lord of the Rings, like oh, let's write more about like
Frodo
Frodo,
and everyone.
and it's
Yeah.
just like we're kind of
Let's explore
done.
Frodo did this. Yeah, that's the thing I hate. Even just like shows in general. I don't know. I just sometimes things just need to end. Because
Yeah,
I get it from a financial perspective. Like they want to like in the case of like a TV show, maybe you want to more seasons because it's like oh yeah because more money. But if you like fuck up your show like Game of Thrones did, then you kill all rewatchability of it.
yeah,
Like so what if you had another season? No one is gonna rewatch Game of Thrones. I don't rewatch Game of Thrones because I know where it ends and I don't feel like
yeah,
getting invested into the first few seasons that were fantastic
yeah.
because I know I'm gonna be let down.
That's a reason why I'm kind of tired of a lot of franchises resurrecting again. Like, oh my God.
Ah, resurrecting. I wonder what you're going to talk about.
The
The
well, not just
Matrix?
Matrix, but like the new Ghostbusters, like the new Terminator, the new Indiana Jones
They're making
film,
another Indiana
Indiana
Jones?
Jones 5, man. Yep, they're making another one. It's just like when Indiana Jones ended, it was when Indiana Jones, his father, and his friends were running to the sunset in Last Crusade. That's
Yeah.
that's the real ending. Terminator ended at Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Okay? Ghostbusters, you know what? I'll even count Ghostbusters 2. I know a lot of people don't like that movie, but fuck it, I'll take it because they got Harold Ramis
Home
in it.
Alone? There's no Home Alone 3.
Okay, at least you counted Home Alone 2. Because some
Yeah.
people don't like Home Alone 2. I'm
I
like,
actually think Home Alone 2 is fantastic.
I think it's
I
great.
don't think it's as good as the first one. I
No.
think Macaulay Culkin isn't as great in it because he's not as cute as he was in the first one.
But
Some of his lines are a little, they don't really
But
land for me.
they make up for it for Tim Curry. Oh, that's the lights.
Wow, today was a terrible day to film.
Bad luck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But no, Tim Curry was great in Home Alone 2.
Yeah, what's his name? Rob Schneider was in it.
Yeah, Rob Schneider. He plays the bellhop.
Yep, I didn't even know that. He looks so young.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
You was here.
You was
And
here.
you was smooching with my brother. Remember when we were talking about Harry Potter?
Sorry. We were talking about kids.
Hey, Christian, how much time do we have left?
Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter, Harry Potter. You know
we haven't talked
you know what the
at all
saddest
about
moment in Harry Potter was? And I think about it
Sirius's
to this
death?
Snape. Snape's death when he talked about and he cried and I was like, damn.
No, it's sad, but I felt
No.
bad for
Sirius is sad too. I'm not saying it wasn't.
Another
I'm just
reason.
saying like
Have you read any of the books, by the way?
I think it's because I think Alan Rickman, like I have a soft spot because
Yeah.
he's a great actor and
No,
you know,
I do too. I do
that's
too.
maybe I'm a little biased.
Have you read any of the books, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
A long time ago I read Philosopher, I read Chamber, and I read Prisoner, but I did not.
You didn't bother.
I
That's
tried with Goblet, man.
That's
I did.
exactly
I
where
really
I
did.
was. That's exactly where I was.
I stopped at Goblet. I hope you finish all of them, Josh.
I'm going to. But
Hell
the thing is, that's exactly how I was because I started reading them when I was like 10
yeah.
because my older brother had all of them, and I read the first three because they're short. They're like 200 pages.
Yeah.
When I started rereading them, I read the entire Chamber of Secrets in one day.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was that age, then I went to my older brother's room to put Prisoner of Azkaban away,
Mm-hmm.
and I went to pick up Goblet of Fire, and it was this big. It was this big in my hand back then.
I used to rent it at the bookstore. Remember
Yeah.
the bookstore? Remember when you can rent books?
Can't you still do that?
Yeah, but like at school, it just felt a little more personal. I know you could go to a library for it, but like your school had a book, like a library, and then you go
Fun
up and you
fact.
rent.
Yeah.
Oh, remember the Scholastic Book Fair? Oh my God, that was awesome.
I never rented a book past grade 3 because when I was in grade 3, we had a project. And my project, I did a study of penguins, emperor penguins. And I rented a book from I got a book from the library, did my project, and I guess I put it back in the wrong place.
Oh my God.
So that next time, I was on the list of like people who had to return books, and I'm like, but I put the book back. And then the next time, I was no longer on it, and I was like, what? So from grade 3
Yo.
onward, I never rented a book in middle school, not even in high school, because I was worried that my past would catch up with me.
Josh, are you serious?
I'm serious. I'm worried that like even now, I'm still kind of worried that like someone's gonna call me and be like, hey, where's that book, by the way?
Josh, you're talking to a guy that has a Bionicle comic book that I rented in grade 3 that I still have in my room.
I was a goody two shoes.
I still have it, and it still has the name and mark and everything like that. It's such a good book, by the way.
I was too much of a goody two shoes back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
I would almost. I was a kid that would almost cry if I ever got a yellow card. Do you remember those?
Yellow card.
Yellow card. Like you'd have, like the teacher would have
Bro.
like your name, and they'd have like everyone's name, and then there would be cards underneath, and there'd be a green card, a yellow card, and a red card.
Yeah.
And basically,
I remember that.
if you got in trouble, she'd be like, Josh, you're on a yellow card, and she'd go and she'd pick up the green card and put it at the back, and now it's a yellow card. And then if you had a red card, you're in trouble. And I would almost cry if I ever got a yellow card.
I got a red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. I was goody two shoes.
You know, I remember. I actually don't. I just know I had a red card at some point because I was a bad kid.
I never cheated on a single test until I was in grade 12.
Oh, I never cheated. I was just stupid.
Yeah, well, I was stupid, and then I got smart, and then I got to grade 12, and senioritis hit me like a truck, and I got stupid again. And
You got to play it smart with the cheating.
I
though.
managed to cheat and still only get a 70 on my economics exam.
It's tough, man.
It's hard to cheat.
It's hard
I
to
didn't have
cheat.
I didn't have 11 years of practice.
Yo, you got to do the cheating methods. You ever did the Morse code cheat
No,
with multiple choice, and it's like 3 taps for C, 2 taps for B, 1 tap for A, 4 taps for D.
You know what I did do once?
Oh my god, that was
Hang on.
so bad.
I have to stand up to show you this, but I wanted to help. It was auto shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really basic exam. It was so stupid, but I think
Yeah.
our teacher just had to give us an exam.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave us this bullshit exam, and I finished mine, and I go to hand it in, but one of my friends was like panicking because he didn't study. We were a
Yeah.
bunch of idiots in that class. We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
We just talked. So what I did was I basically walked up to our teacher with my exam. Let me grab this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I walked up and I was like, "Sir, can you just explain what you mean here?" And then I held my arms behind my back with the paper out with my exam on it out so that he could read it while I was
That
talking
is
to him.
fucking clever, man. You saved him.
I saved him, and he never repaid the favor. That's what you get when you're a Hufflepuff.
That's what you get when you're a Hufflepuff. That's the thing.
We don't
with,
have a lot of time left, but do you want to talk about the Fantastic Beasts movies?
I have not seen them. Give a quick rundown of what you think of them.
First one's pretty good. Second one's kind of shit. Third one hasn't come out yet, so I'm kind of worried because the second one was shit, but the first one's a good watch.
You excited for Mads Mikkelsen recasting Johnny Depp just as
No.
an actor, not as the
Oh.
recast?
Yes,
Okay.
I like Mads Mikkelsen. But,
Yeah, I'm not a fan of them recasting him just unexpectedly either, but at least we got a good actor.
Oh yeah,
I know we won't go down that road, but that's fair.
No, I don't know who I would hate to see in that role, but I know that there's definitely like they fucking cast Seth Rogen as Grindelwald, or let's just keep going with the meme. Let's make Chris Pratt him.
Shut up.
You know, I actually rewatched the Lego Movie. I think he's gonna be a good Mario.
Lego Movie's good on its own, even with or without Chris Pratt, but he makes
Like
a
I think he's a
good-
decent voice actor.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I forgot to mention that, but I was like, you know what? I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, Chris Pratt's never in anything good. You know what? He's a good actor. He's a good voice actor.
Fair enough.
But no, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It's pretty good. It's not great. It does not reach the same highs as Harry Potter.
Is it better than the Cursed Child?
Yes, absolutely.
Even the shitty one, is it better than Cursed Child, the sequel?
Yes.
All
Because
right.
at least it doesn't disrespect the franchise.
There you go.
And with that,
With that being
we're
said,
gonna call it a day.
yeah.
So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us on Spotify, feel free to check out our YouTube channel to see the visual component that goes along with this episode. If you're on YouTube, our socials should be on the screen by now. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter to see some updates and see clips of our upcoming episodes. And if you're feeling generous, feel free to send us something on Patreon. And with all that being said, we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out, y'all.